In the corners of the internet where ambition meets desperation, a new breed of predator is born. They call themselves mentors, leaders, gurus, but behind every promise of fast money, instant enlightenment, or overnight success lies something far more calculated. In this web series, I'm going to show you the world they don't show you. I'm going to show you the world behind the rented cars, the borrowed mansions, the staged luxury, a world built on manipulation, illusion, and perfectly crafted lies designed to pull you in and drain you dry. This series, we peel back the curtains of self-proclaimed experts who built empires from nothing but hype. We follow the trails they tried to hide, the victims they thought wouldn't speak, and the truth they prayed no one would uncover. Welcome to Web of Lies, the Internet Guru Files, where the stories are real and the life of these internet gurus are way darker than you could have imagined. What happens when online success meets real world chaos? Today we're going to be talking about one of the most shocking influencer stories to come out of Argentina. The rise and violent fall of Fernando Algaba. Fernando, also known by his online name Lechuga, built his brand around success. Not quiet success, but loud success. Exotic cars, trips to Europe, wild apartment views. His Instagram feed looked like a millionaire starter pack. He talked about money, crypto, real estate, the millionaire mindset, all the go-to topics for these internet gurus. He posted his wins, the vacations, the deals, the lifestyle to his followers. He was proof that if you believed hard enough and hustled long enough, the good life was guaranteed. But here's the thing about influencer success. The audience sees the lifestyle, but they never see the pressure required to keep the lifestyle alive. Because behind the rented Lamborghinis and motivational speeches, Fernando was juggling multiple businesses, crypto, day trading, luxury rentals, and with each business came investors. With each investor came expectations, and with expectations came problems. Fernando built an online empire filled with luxury cars, rented mansions, motivational posts, crypto deals. He crafted the image of a man who figured life out. But behind the lifestyle was something darker: financial trouble, debt, and business deals that weren't going the way he wanted. And as the pressure increased, so did the danger around him. While Fernando's social media presence kept climbing, his offline life was heading in the opposite direction. Deals weren't closing, businesses weren't profiting. People started demanding their money back, and the gap between the public success and the private chaos started to widen fast. He was still posting on social media like everything was perfect, luxury dinners, motivational captions, but behind the scenes, the depth, the arguments, the threats, they were closing in. Friends would later say Fernando was stressed and restless. He was traveling constantly, moving around, trying to keep everything together. But when you build a public persona on constant success, you can't let the world see you fall. Fernando would return back to his home country of Argentina, where he would make one final Instagram post. And in that final post, he would go on to say, "Hello mom, I needed to clear my head as always, and from here I am realizing two things: that we cannot escape from problems and that problems will follow us. Well, if something happens to me, everyone is already warned." And then, just when the pressure reached its breaking point, Fernando disappeared. Behind the scenes, his phone was blowing up. Friends said he sounded stressed. Others said he was scared. He talked about money he owed, people he didn't trust, and meetings he couldn't avoid. And then for the next 48 hours, silence. No calls, no posts, no movement. His friends assumed he was laying low. His investors assumed he was avoiding them. But the truth was far worse. On July 31st, a group of kids outside playing soccer found a red suitcase near a riverbank outside Buenos Aires. Inside that suitcase were human remains. At first, no one knew who they belonged to, but the tattoos told the story before the police even could. It was Fernando, and the condition of the remains made one thing tragically clear. This was not an accident, this was a message. According to investigators, Fernando went to a meeting shortly before he vanished, a meeting involving people tied to debts he was struggling with. Detectives immediately started pulling phone records, tracking GPS routes, and questioning anyone connected to him. They followed a trail of debt, a trail of threats, and a trail of broken deals. His final days painted a picture of a man trapped, not by social media, but by the people he owed, the promises he couldn't keep, and the dangers he underestimated. Now, there are some speculations on the internet that he might have owed the Argentinian mob upwards to $40,000. But what we do know is he had debts he couldn't repay, he was dealing with people who didn't play games, and he was promising money he no longer had. Till this day, we still don't know what happened to Fernando, but we do know for sure that if you borrow money from the mob, it's best to pay your debt.